What's up, guys? I'm gonna hook you guys up with two plays. They're both in the NFL for today. I actually had in the VIP. I gave away one of these already earlier this week, but I'm gonna repeat that one. Anyways, I started looking at the NFL since Tuesday of the week before. So basically, Tuesday I started looking at these plays, and I'm able to get great odds by doing that. So if you're in VIP, you would have got those alerts earlier in the week. Anyways, I'm going to show you some receipts very quickly. It was 11 and 3 day yesterday, which was great. And then I had a 5 and 2 day the day before that. So it's been a great 2 days. Let's keep this going. I have two plays for you in the NFL, and then I'll show you exactly what's available. So this was I was going to come and show this play yesterday, but as you can hear my voice. I was sick, so I couldn't do it. But if you would have been signed up on my free picks, I believe I threw this out there. I can't remember. But anyways, so here it is, under 231. I ended up getting a little nervous because they ended up going into overtime. And even with the overtime, they were not able to get this number. But I did get nervous because they did hit 229 overall. But again, that was because they went with the overtime. Anyway, luckily that came through for us. That hit. We had this one inside the Discord and also in the VIP. So this one I took it live when they were down. I saw that I was able to get 233, which was higher than my original number. So I took that $10 live. The same game. This is PRAs, points, rebounds, and assists. This is what is this? A different one that we had under 2 shots on goal, which I've been talking about. Another PRA, parlay PRA, another PRA parlay, another shots on goal parlay. Let me get right into the plays here. I'm going to just walk you through how this tool works. This is the Sharp Edge. You can get 14 days for free. The link is in the description for this. But basically, this gives you the breakdown of all the games. The first thing I like to look at is these sharp links. So it gives you some indications here on what teams you should be looking at. I don't look at this as final plays. These are just strong links. It even tells you right here, not our final plays. But this is a good indication on where to start looking. Okay, so anyways, let me go back in here. That's what I like to look at first. And then the same thing in basketball. You can see if we go to the sports and then we go to basketball, you can see all the different plays here. But if you click on sharp plays, you'll see that it's telling you to look at the Celtics and also the under on the 76ers game. So we also added this thing called the line move tool, which is great. If you go in here, it gives you all the lines, and this actually updates every 6 hours. Right now, it's going to update it every hour soon, but right now it's giving you these line moves. So if you learn how to read these line moves, it's dramatic. So for example, this Cavaliers, it went from a 3.5 to an 8.5. That's a 5-point line move. This one went down. Actually, it went up. Rockets and Jazz, it went up 6 points. Celtics and Cavaliers went up. So anyways, these are just dramatic line moves that you should be paying attention to. So if you know what I'm talking about with the line moves, it's very important. Anyways, let me get right into the plays. I have two plays for you guys in the NFL. So let me get started here. So in this game right here, you can see that the grand total should be projected to be 23 and 17. That's a grand total of 40. I'm not looking at the spread on this one. I'm looking on the under. So the total did open up at a 42.5, and that's a key number of 42. If you don't know what key numbers are, just search it up on Google, key numbers NFL. And what that does, it gives you like the 3s and the 7s. And if you start stacking those up, it goes up to 42, 44, 47, and stuff like that. So 42 is a key number. It went down, and it crossed 35. So it went down 7 points. 66% of the bets is coming in on the over, and then 57% of the money is coming in on the over. Only 34% is coming on the under, 43% on the under. So bets and the money is lower on the under, yet the line is moving dramatically down. So that's a big, what they call a reverse line move. Now that's the first key indication that you want to look at. And again, that went back to the original line tool that I showed you. So now we start looking deeper into this. Again, started at 42.5. It's currently at a 35.5. The total dropped 7 points. Just like I said, I showed you the bets. So this is the most dramatic line move on the board for today for the NFL. So now we start looking into the details on why this might be happening. The Browns have the fourth worst offense in the league. Okay, so then, like I said, you start stacking this stuff up and you start looking at why this line has dropped so much. Okay, and it's going to make sense after you start looking into it. But the Browns have the fourth worst offense in the league. 49ers are 0-3 when they're favored. So the Browns home, they trend towards being more defensive at home. 35.5 is extremely low, but the Sharps are still pushing that line down. So a 7-point drop, even though the money was coming in on the over, that's what that means. And the very big one here is this weather. If you look at, I'm in Chicago and the weather is horrible. So it's about 2 hours from Cleveland, 3 hours from Cleveland, something like that. And look at this wind. So 25 miles per hour winds of snow and gust up to 50 miles per hour. So if you ever pay attention to the weather in the NFL, if it's windy as hell, anything over 20 or 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, then the under is the way to go because they can't kick the ball, they can't throw the ball. They're going to have to rely on the run game. So this is a very dramatic move because of the weather as well and all these factors that I'm telling you about here. So the first play I'm going to take is going to be the Browns and the 49ers on the under 42.5. So I'm buying it back to the original line of 42.5. These are all the plays that I have so far for today. You can see there's 4 plays right here, and then there's 5 props for PRAs, the ones I just showed. These PRAs have been hitting at extremely high rate. PRAs are points, rebounds, and assists in basketball. So if you want all 5 of these props plus all 4 of these plays, the link is in the description for VIP for 1 day, or you can do 1 week. I was offering a $10 for 1 week pass, but that was for Thursday. I'll do it. I'll extend it today. If you guys want that, send me a text message and say, hey, I'm interested. So let me show that number one more time. Send me a text and say, hey, I'm interested in the 1 week pass for $10. I'm still waiting on my business partner. He does NHL. I looked up the shots on goal. We also have shots on goal, but there was nothing today. And there's only, I think, 1 or 2 games in the NHL. But if anything else pops up in college basketball, college football, I'm not even sure if college football is playing today, but college basketball, NHL, anything like that, or anything that he comes up with, that'll be thrown on the plays as well. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Also, click on free picks in the description and subscribe to this channel. The Colts and the Texans. So the Colts are offensive line, they're number 4th. So this is going to be a little bit of a tougher one overall, but I still like it. I actually liked it earlier this week. There's the one I gave away like on Tuesday, and I still like it today. The line has actually even shifted even more. So let me see if I can pull that up actually. Give me 1 second. Okay. So right here you can see that they're supposed to win by 3 points. Actually, it shows that they're going to lose by 3 points, which is not good. However, that's the projections. However, the line did start as them as underdogs, and now they're -3. So the line has shifted 3 points in the direction of Indianapolis, even though they 63% of the money and 63% of the bets, 85% of the money is coming in on Houston. The line is still shifting in the favor of Indianapolis. So like I said, this is going to be a tougher one. There's some contradictions, not a lot, but let me tell you why I like this one. Colts, they're number 4 in offense. However, they are going against a very good defense. Texans have number 3 defense, which is elite versus elite. Okay, so the analysis is a clash of the elites. Colts are number 4, like I said, versus defense number 3. There's a high-level matchup. The Texans' offensive line is number 7. So the Colts do have a weakness in the defense. Despite the Texans' elite defense, the Colts' home dominance is 6-0. You cannot ignore this number. When the Colts are at home, they dominate 6-0. Also, another dramatic thing is that when the Texans are on the road, they're 0-6. Okay, I hope that's starting to make sense on why this looks good. And the line shifted in the favor of the Colts as well. So these winning records versus these losing records on the road and at home outweighs the positioning. So I'm taking the Colts on the money line. And then I'm taking, because of the weather situation and everything I talked about, and then I'm taking the Colts as well. Let me kind of go through basketball real quick. I do have a lot of I think 3 or 4 plays in basketball. So Rockets and Jazz, nothing came up for me on that game. Cavaliers are supposed to win this game. Nothing in that game. 76ers, I'm looking on the under on the 76ers Hawks game. The 76ers, we've actually hit 3 different times this season already on the under. I'm going with them today again on the under. I'm buying it back to the original line. I'm not going to go into all those details. That's already inside the VIP. The Thunder's supposed to win this game pretty easily. You can see these are projections to win by 13. The line is currently at a 12, minus 12.5. Some indications were saying that the Timberwolves should win, but I didn't like any one of those. Same thing with the Grizzlies and the Kings, on the Pelicans and the Lakers. I'm not touching any of these games. I am going with, I'll tell you right now, I'm mixing and matching parlays. I'm not going on the spread today, but I'm taking the Cavaliers on a parlay, 76ers on the under, and then I'm taking the Thunder on a parlay as well. Go to the link in the description, click on free picks. Make sure you do that. Also get the subscribe to the 1 week. And like I said, send me a text message if you want the 1 week pass for $10. Okay, so I'll put it up one more time. And like I said, the Browns and the 49ers on the under, 42.5. And then I'm taking the Colts on the money line. The other day, like we did in the VIP, we did have the Bears to go over 13.5. They ended up winning the game and scoring 21 points. So that hit for us as well. All right, guys. I don't see any questions, man. I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. Appreciate you all. Let's have a great day.